June 23rd, surrender. We didn't stumble into this fellowship brimming with love, honesty, open mindedness, or willingness. When we were beaten, we became willing. Basic text, page 20. Surrender may be the necessary foundation for recovery, but sometimes we fight it. Most of us look back after some clean time and wonder why on earth we fought so hard to deny our powerlessness when surrender is what finally saved our lives. As we recover, new opportunities to surrender present themselves. We can either struggle with everyone and everything we encounter, or we can recall the benefits of our first surrender and stop fighting. Most of the pain we experience comes from fighting, not surrendering. In fact, when we surrender, the pain ends and hope takes its place. We begin to believe that all will be well, and after some time, realize that our lives are much better as a result. We feel the same way we did when we gave up the illusion that we could control our using, relieved, free, and filled with fresh hope. Just for today, is there a surrender I need to make today? I will remember my first surrender and remind myself that I don't need to fight anymore. I'm Herb the Addictaholic. This is just for today. And the first thing that comes to mind is fighting with my kids. You know, my son is 14, and he's developing a lot of his own ideas, his own choices that are contrary to what I would choose or what my ideas are. And I want to give him a heads up in life, and I want to kind of keep him from making the same mistakes that I made, type of thing, right? So I want to give him all this guidance, and I want him to follow my guidance, and sometimes he doesn't want to. And I have to realize, like, maybe like me, he needs to learn the hard way sometimes, and he's got to fall on his own, and he has to make his own mistakes. And just hearing it from dad isn't going to be enough for him to really learn that lesson. And surrendering there has been tough for me, because I want my kids to be ahead of the game, and to watch them fail at something that I gave them, plenty of heads up on. It hurts to see them fail or fall or, skin their knee or whatever. And I'm like, I told you, you could have just blah, blah, blah to save yourself the pain. And instead of getting all beat up about it myself and getting stressed out or having fear of what's going to happen or whatever, like all those negative feelings that come with hovering over your children, I'm learning to just let it go, and just surrendering to the process of life for somebody else. They're their own individual people, and they're going to learn at their pace, in their way, and along their path of life. And I can still offer guidance. I can still console them, when something happens and they need someone to come to. But I don't have to have any expectations, and I don't have to get upset when it doesn't meet any expectations that I might have, and it's kind of nice, just in that one aspect is the analogy I'm using, but like applying that same surrender to work, my recovery, my relationship with my wife, with friends and family, and like the list goes on, and so I do surrender daily, to something, somewhere, some way, somehow. I surrender daily in traffic. And that, I use that analogy a lot because it's a big one for me. A lot of my stress and anxiety comes from driving in Los Angeles traffic, and it's tough, and I used to take it very personal. And I've realized that, people are going to be jerks, or they have their own things going on that cause them to drive in certain ways. And I've been that person, and I'm sure I've pissed a lot of people off in the way that I used to drive, and maybe even now because I drive too slow, but I have to surrender my control of or attempted control of other people in the world around me. I'm not going to cause millions of vehicles to drive the way I want them to drive. It's just never going to happen. So relinquishing, surrendering, letting go alleviates so much stress and weight off of my shoulders that it can only bring a sense of elation and weightlessness and happiness and joy And, you know, I show up to work happier. I come home happier because of my ability to surrender these days. Thank you guys for coming out. I hope to see you tomorrow. Keep coming back. It works if you work it.